Greetings, my lords of misrule, my bejeweled ladies of chaos. Come with me to examine the contents of a treasure chest most rare. Don't be afraid, America. It's not the scary Satanist, it's only me, Mark Barrowcliffe, author of the Elfish Gene. I thought I'd run you through some of the older stuff that I've got from the early days of D&D. I thought modern gamers might be quite interested to see some of this. This is the first white box D&D. There we are, put it up to the camera. I've only just got this, so apologies if I'm a total idiot when it comes to using it. This is the first white box Dungeons and Dragons, the first things that dropped through my door when I began gaming. It cost £6.30. I remember exactly the price of it. Don't know what that is in dollars, but there's the first book. That's Men and Magic. Now you're probably thinking that that's a bad drawing. Wrong. That is a bad drawing. That's on the second book, but even that Monsters and Treasure is not quite as bad a drawing as this, which is on the third book, the Wilderness Adventures. Despite the frankly appalling art, this book changed my life and the life of millions of others. It's absolutely terrific stuff. Frankly, it's a doodle, isn't it? It's no more than a doodle. You can't dress it up, hide it or disguise it. That's all it is. And some of it, putting it charitably, is crap. Let's have a look. Try and get you a truly, orc. There's an orc. Do you think that's what Tolkien was thinking of when he came up with the idea? Anyway, doesn't really matter, because this actually provided the framework for my life for a good, let's think, must be 10 years, and took me into the fantasy kingdoms of D&D. Now D&D is terrific, but as a lot of gamers will know, it's a kind of quite generic system. It doesn't actually sort of prescribe a particular world. One that did, and the first game that did, is this, which is the Empire of the Petal Throne. There's my copy now. Pull it back a bit from the box. Anyway, that's Empire of the Petal Throne box. Within is a treasure trove. Much better art of this kind of variety. Still, it ain't Picasso, but thank God for that, eh? But this was actually set in its own world, which had its own language you could learn. These are translations, and this script, I believe, actually works. I never learned to write the script, although I did attempt to kind of try and make up names in the language and to talk the language based on some fanzines and things like that we got. I think they were fanzines. I can't remember. But this is basically the same idea as D&D, but it's set in a much more detailed world called Tekkamul, which is a world formerly of high technology, which has been ripped into a void by some kind of cataclysm in space-time. It happens all the while in science fiction. You'd think they'd guard against it, but it does. And the game is set 50,000 years after this event, when technology has taken on the idea of magic, and it has an incredibly detailed world, interplanar beams giving energy that means that wizards can cast spells, strange creatures like the six-legged Clen, which has this hide which is stripped off for armour and weapons, there being very little in the way of steel on Tekkamul. Anyway, I'm making it sound rubbish, but it's not. It's really, really good. That was 1976, I think. The book's here in 1975. Here's Eldritch Wizardry, which was where we got all the druids from. Underpowered druids in the original game. This is the Ardwin Grimoire, which was a kind of one of the first rule supplements or additions. This gave us, I think it was in this one, critical hits, prismatic walls and their usage, new character type, medicine men, new character type, witch hunter, psychic, barbarian, and gave you a lot of stuff that you could get special abilities for, like, let's read up, a coward, -8, save fear, and always have 50% chance of fleeing. Well, that's a bit unlucky, isn't it? Or you could be a young giant, roll to see what kind, and a 7'10". Well, quite useful. This is the Man of Gold, which is the book that the originator of this game, Empire of the Petal Throne, wrote about his world. I was kind of a bit disappointed. It's a good book, but when I read it I was a bit disappointed because it involves the exploits of a priest of Thumis, I think, which is the good god of wisdom, and I've always been, when I was at the age of reading this kind of thing, was much more into the dark side of things, which is probably why I sort of preferred Michael Moorcock's Elric of Melniboné series like that. Anyway, Traveller, this is the original Traveller, the kind of space faring game. That was very good, enjoyed that. Probably a game with more potential than we actually explored. And here's some other early stuff. This is the first edition of The Dungeoneer, which is a very, very early fanzine, as you can see. It's dated August 1976. More early fanzines, falling to bits now, unfortunately. Underworld Oracle, there you go, that's an early British one. A few more of those here. There's The Dragon. I think that was volume 2 actually, if I remember. Yeah, volume 2, number 1. Haven't actually got volume 1, number 1 of that, which is annoying. I think that was probably lent out to some bastard who never returned it. However, here's some stuff like a strategic review. This actually pre-dated The Dragon and contained lots of stuff. Look, there you go, the genuine Motorhead program stuck in the middle. Born to lose, live to win. We've got half of that right anyway. There's a late edition, which is not that interesting. What else is there? Lots of strategic reviews. The Tekkamon Journal, Volume 1. All this stuff